What's up, fuckers? We just saw Mickey Mouse 17, the new Bong Joon-ho movie. I got a haircut and I shaved. Looking sexy, I hope. But
yes.
Yeah, so we saw Mickey 17. And this movie's been getting a lot of good reviews. There's nobody in the theater, so I don't know how good it'll do in the box office, but for context, obviously Bong Joon-ho directed some classics like Snowpiercer.
That I have seen. That's one of my favorite movies.
You know, it's funny, I haven't seen Snowpiercer.
It's good. Oh, I liked it.
Yeah.
Yes.
But he also directed the 2019 or 2020, depending on how you look at it, Best Picture winner, Parasite.
I haven't seen it.
Which Joseph hasn't seen, but I've seen. Masterpiece of a film.
I hear it's good.
Very good. And this is his newest movie, Mickey 17. It's gotten delayed a bunch, but it's finally here. And yeah, before we get to our thoughts, Joseph, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to explain sort of what the plot is.
This movie's about Robert Pattinson. He plays a character called Mickey, and it's in the not near future, but a future, where they're able to clone. They figure out a way to clone people as, I guess, used for a job, essentially.
They're called Expendables in the film,
and
not the Expendables, the movie. You know.
This movie is just about his character being an expendable, just going through the work and just killing, and then waking up and still having access to his memories, but still living, like dying every day and waking up new.
It's kind of like Severance, except instead of splitting your mind in half and waking up in an office, you wake up in a printer machine.
I was gonna say it's like a sci-fi Groundhog Day, but that's basically Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
So this is kind of different in a way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess that's a general summary without giving much away.
Yeah, and then I don't want to give too much away, but certain complications happen because of this procedure that Mickey has to deal with, and there's also a villain character that he also has to deal with, and this movie is
it's inspired by some real life events or in a current case, you know.
We'll get to that, but I really like this movie. I thought it was really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was funny. I was never bored. I thought the exposition in this movie was really well done, and I thought Robert Pattinson was great. I thought Mark Ruffalo was great. I thought Toni Collette was great. Mm-hmm. It's well shot. The music's great. I know we're only in March, but by the end of the year, I could see this being in my top 10. I thought this movie was great. What did you think, Broseph?
I had a good time watching this movie.
Yeah.
I guess towards the end, I thought it kind of dragged in the third act. I was kind of waiting for it to like finish, but other than that, I had a good time. I thought Robert Pattinson gave a great performance as always. I don't know. I think the chick's name's Naomi. Yeah. The actress. I've only seen her in Star Wars and the movie Blink Twice.
Wait, who is she in Star Wars?
She was in The Rise of Skywalker. That she was like.
Oh yeah, I know.
They like suggested she's like Lando's like daughter or some shit.
Granddaughter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
that
her.
chick.
Yeah, I didn't see Blink Twice.
She's in this movie. Blink Twice was good, but she's in this movie, and I thought she did good for her role. I thought what's that guy's name from Beef? Steven Yeun.
Oh, Steven Yeun.
He was in this movie.
Glenn.
Yeah, and he was in also Nope.
Yeah, he's in Invincible. He's getting a lot of work. Good for him. He was supposed to play Sentry.
Yeah, he was.
But then he
dropped out.
Yeah.
Yeah, small role, but you know, I think everyone had a good performance in this.
Yeah, I think so.
The standouts for Mark Ruffalo and Toni Collette.
Yeah, Mark Ruffalo is really funny in this movie. Kind of like he's doing something different from what he did in Poor Things, but I think just like Poor Things, he's very funny, and he
went for a very specific person in mind for this role.
Yeah, we'll get to this, but
overall, I think it was pretty good. Storytelling, CGI, comedic. It was pretty comedic in type moments. Me and Brandon were cracking up at one scene particularly.
There's one scene. There's a dinner scene.
There's a dinner scene.
It is
hilarious.
Like very funny.
But yeah, I thought overall this was a good movie. I'd give it like 8 out of 10.
Yeah.
I don't have complaints.
Yeah.
I just told Brandon, I don't know if I would watch the whole movie again, but there's certain scenes just for like Pattinson's performance and Ruffalo's performance that I would like want to see again.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you in that I think the third act, it does kind of go on for a long time, and I was kind of watching it. I think it just didn't bother me as much. Like, I was watching it, I was like, all right, I wasn't like waiting for it to be over, but it was in my mind like, yeah, this is going on a while.
Mm-hmm.
It could be cut down, you know. That's what editors are for. But yeah, and Robert Pattinson, I don't want to say too much, but he plays sort of multiple versions of this character, and I think he does a great job. And his voice is like, if I said this when we walked out, if there was an animated movie that Robert Pattinson was in and he used the voice he uses in this movie, I would not think it's Robert Pattinson. And Mickey is so pathetic.
Well, one of the versions of him.
Yeah, one of them is so pathetic, and I don't know why. I just think characters like that are hilarious.
Because you realize how fucking pathetic they are.
Yeah, because you just laugh at the. Because I think there's just something hilarious about taking a pathetic, whiny character and putting them into like this life-threatening situation.
And how they respond.
That I just think is
it's
so funny.
Comedic.
Yeah, and yeah, this movie's really funny. Toni Collette's very funny. She's she's a great actress, obviously, but I remember thinking like halfway through, I was like, man, they're not really using Toni Collette as much as I would like them to be.
She's more in the end, though.
Yeah, but yeah, as the movie goes on, she's in it more, and she gets a lot to do. And there's one scene near the end of the movie that I think was just there just to have Toni Collette act. Like, I really think it was just there to be like, yeah.
She had like almost like a Hereditary scene at the very end.
Yeah, there was a scene at the end. I was like, whoa, this is.
Didn't need to be in the movie, but you know.
Yeah. Bong Joon-ho as a director, his movies, like, I think he's really good at like bouncing around between, like, Parasite. There's some like hilarious scenes in that movie, and then there's scenes in that movie that are like kind of violent and scary.
Okay.
But it doesn't feel like it's unbalanced. It kind of comes out of nowhere, but it works for his movies because they're so like.
Snowpiercer the whole way was just a thriller.
Yeah, it's like an escalation. Parasite is like an escalation. It just starts off small, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and by the end you're like, holy shit, this is insane.
That's kind of how Snowpiercer was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk about something. Mark Ruffalo in this movie plays a politician character, and
who speaks a certain way and
talks a certain way, and
is very prominent in today's political.
The new Daredevil show, Daredevil Born Again, just came out, and in that show, Kingpin, who is a convicted felon, becomes the mayor of New York. And I was watching it like, man, if this came out 3 years ago, we'd all be saying like, that doesn't make sense. How could he get elected? But now watching it, you're just like, fuck, and
art imitates life.
Yeah, I think normally I don't like saying, oh, we watch movies to escape or so. I don't like that phrase because it makes movies sound like drugs. You know what I mean? It always bothers me when people say that, like, movies are meant to be an escape. It's like, you're not escaping anything. You're taking 2 hours of your time to watch this film, you know?
You want to be entertained.
Yeah, you want to be entertained. You want to be sucked in, right? You're not escaping anything. Don't make it weird. but and I can't even really blame the movie for this, but watching Mark Ruffalo, it takes you out of it a bit because he says some stuff that a certain someone in the real world says, like, unironically, and I'm just like...
At the beginning, it was pretty funny, like, oh, haha, I get where they're, trying to imitate this or what they're getting inspiration from. But as the movie progresses, it's kind of like, okay, this is getting, like, close to, like, real shit that's happening right now. It's kind of like, oh, it kind of takes you out because now you're thinking of that. You're like, wow.
Yeah, now I'm like, yeah, now I'm depressed.
But, like I feel like, to a certain extent, that was the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Because they made, some clear, like, scenes that were dedicated to, like, flat out calling that person how they feel about it, that everyone's just kind of thinking to their head. You know? So
this is a South Korean director too, which is crazy. But I also think it gives you the opportunity to look at Mark Ruffalo's character and realize that there's people in the world like him and just laugh at him and be like, what a fucking loser. You know what I mean? And that's fun.
Yeah, like he's the first of many kind of deal, so he's not just individualized.
Yeah. So that's just something I noticed. I mean, that's something that's in a lot of stuff nowadays. Like, he hasn't seen The Boys, but in The Boys, Homelander is basically you know who. Like, they don't like. Yeah, Voldemort. We'll go with that. He who must not be named. You know, and I think on one hand, I get why people do it. It doesn't bother me all the time, but I think, like, I don't know, maybe I don't know. I just wanted to bring it up. It's not like it doesn't like bring the score down or anything, but I wanted to bring it up because it was part of my experience with the movie. I was watching, I was like, we could have had. All right, it's fine. I mean, it's not fine, but you know.
Nonetheless, Ruffalo gave a good performance.
Yeah, it was great. Do you think he'll get a nomination for this, like Poor Things?
I mean, this movie is so far out. We just had the Oscar season, so I mean.
Yeah, but Dune came out this time last year. It got nominated.
None of the major categories.
Yeah, but it got nominated. It was acknowledged.
Yeah, but shit. Challengers didn't get shit.
Yeah, that's bullshit. Challengers was great. Although I will say I'm glad Honora won. I haven't talked about this, but Honora was great. I thought, Mikey Madison deserved that. Like, as soon as I watched it like a week before the Oscars, and as soon as it was over, I was like, Mikey's getting that Oscar. And she deserved it. It was a good movie. But back to Mickey 17. Yeah, I would give it an 8, and you said you'd give it an 8?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is a must-see in theaters for anybody.
I think if you think this concept is cool, if you're into sci-fi and you like Bong Joon-ho,
or just like any of the cast members, I think you would.
Yeah, if you like Robert Pattinson, there's a bunch of him in this movie, so and you get to see his ass like 3 times, so go see it. But yeah, I mean,
The more you know.
you'll know how you'll feel about this movie by looking at the poster, because the poster is very weird, and it brings out a sort of reaction.
Or I feel like just watching the trailer, you're like, if that's interests you, then you go see it. But yeah. So
it worked for me. I can imagine it won't work for everybody. Like, I think Parasite is probably a movie that would be enjoyed by more people. And, I haven't seen Snowpiercer, but maybe Snowpiercer would be enjoyed by more people.
I liked it. So.
But I'm giving it a thumbs up. I'd recommend it. Go see it if you want. Or save your money for Novocaine. I don't know. It's your life. But yeah, that was Mickey 17. I want to talk about some other stuff that came out just really quick. We brought it up. Daredevil came back, kind of, with a new show. Dropped the first 2 episodes. We're going to give our quick thoughts. I thought it was okay.
Are you doing spoilers?
Yeah, sure. Spoilers for the first 2 episodes of Daredevil. You know what? I'm going to put it in the title of this video. Yeah, so spoilers for the first 2 episodes of Daredevil. If you haven't seen it, if you have, stay. Joseph, what do you think of Foggy Nelson's tragic demise?
Man, they killed the heart of the show, the previous show.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
I think he'll come back at some point as something.
Yeah,
I'm not sure he's like fully dead.
Guys, we should bring back Avatar, and then in the first 5 minutes just fucking kill Sokka, and then have Aang attempt murder. That'll get the fans on our side.
Didn't they do that with Terminator? One of the movies.
Yeah, John Connor dies like before the opening titles in the 6th Terminator movie.
Well, anyways, about Daredevil. 2 episodes were good. I mean, they're reintroducing us into the world. Kingpin and Daredevil were trying not to be Kingpin and Daredevil. They're trying to be Matt Murdock, lawyer, and
Wilson Fisk, the mayor.
Yeah, which at some point they'll go back, reverting back to who they are.
They are who they are.
But yeah, I think the only complaint I really have from those episodes is just I don't like the way CGI looks with Daredevil swinging from building to building, and the fights just looks, or it'd be more realistic how it was in Netflix. But you got to do that to like make it more comic accurate, I guess. So it's a Disney Plus show; they got a bigger budget.
Yeah, even the cinematography is way different. Like, it looks like a Marvel movie now, which I guess makes sense because it reflects how Matt Murdock and Wilson Fisk, they're moving up in the world. So it makes sense that I guess the cinematography
MCU
would be
tie-ins to make it feel like they're actually part of the universe now.
Yeah.
There's some callbacks to like Spider-Man and and Echo and whatnot. So
yeah, but never once does Kingpin say Haley Steinfeld kicked my ass on Christmas.
Well,
yeah, you can't win them all.
Did she?
Yeah, and he was wearing a
Hawaiian.
Yeah, what was that? He looked like a strip club owner in that show.
Yeah. So far so good. I'm in two episodes. I don't know how many there is in the first
There's
season.
9.
It's a good amount.
Yeah.
I mean, Netflix gave us 13, so
Yeah. I thought it was okay. I mean, it's
just a start.
Yeah, it's just a start.
I can't expect them to be right after how they were
9
years ago, almost.
Season 3 of Daredevil is like one of the best seasons of television I've ever seen.
The best season of all the fucking Defenders.
Oh my god, it's like,
and Daredevil.
It's not even close. When you compare fucking like Daredevil versus Bullseye to fucking Danny Rand every 5 minutes going, I'm the Iron Fist, not you, me. Like, fuck. You know what I mean? I think it's okay. With Daredevil, you got all the episodes at once, so you can just binge it. We're getting 1 episode a week, so that might take some getting used to now. But Charlie Cox is still great. Vincent D'Onofrio is still great. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
See for John Berto as Punisher.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm sure they'll bring back the other Defenders too.
At some point.
I'm sure they will.
Maybe down the line, not right now.
Yeah.
I think the one closest is probably Jessica Jones.
I was about to say that. Jessica Jones, I think, she'll show up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's okay. I'd give it like a 6 so far. But, you know, we're only 2 episodes in. Daredevil's like my favorite Marvel character, honestly. I like him more than Spider-Man. I think he's cooler. Yeah, I said it. But, yeah. And then Invincible's going on. You watching that?
No.
I've made it clear I'm not a fan of Invincible. I think it's like kind of a bad show. But this new season is pretty good. It's decent. It is. It's Aaron Paul was in an episode.
Oh yeah, I heard
he's really good.
Yeah. He doesn't just sound like Jesse.
Well, I mean, you listen to him and you're like, yeah. And he yells a lot. He doesn't. I don't think he says bitch in the episode. But yeah, he was good. And yeah,
it's in his contract.
Yeah, yes, a lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff coming out. So some movies coming out: Novocaine, Thunderbolts, Minecraft, Snow White. Reviews coming at you.
Those don't sound like the greatest
movies. Stay tuned. Stay tuned, everybody.
I'll wait for. Fuck, I don't even know what's coming out. I don't know.
Superman.
Yeah, but it's not until July.
Fantastic Four.
That's not until July.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
That's not until like December.
This is gonna be a fucking awesome year for movies. All right, well, yeah, me and Joseph will be back.
Yeah, okay, I don't know. I'll be back when I'll be back.
I'll be back when I'll be back. I love having this guy. He'll be back for I don't know.
Something.
See you later.
See you guys later.